When you're only given two choices, the illusion of choice becomes a tool of control. We like to pretend we're nuanced, we like to pretend we think freely. But in modern politics, especially in the United States, we're mostly just reacting. Red or blue, left or right, elephant or donkey. And if you don't pick a side, you're told you're apathetic or privileged or part of the problem. But what if this is the problem? Not which side you choose, but the fact that you were only ever given the two choices. This video isn't telling you who to vote for. It's not about presenting both sides as equals. It's about why the entire framework is broken. Because when every issue becomes a team sport, when every disagreement becomes betrayal, when truth itself gets painted red or blue, you don't get democracy. You get tribalism in a tie and a suit. And that's not freedom. That's just a prettier version of war. Let's talk about tribalism, not as a buzzword, but as a human reflex. Because we're not as evolved as we like to think. We are wired to sort us versus them, in groups or out groups, safety versus threat. This made sense when we were hunting mammoths and trying to not to get killed by rival clans. But now, we're still using the same primal software in modern society. Only now, the tribe is your political party in most cases. And once you're inside a tribe, here's what happens. You stop thinking in shades and start thinking in sides. You start defending behavior, not because it's right, but because it's ours. You don't see people anymore. You see positions, and you don't listen to understand. You listen to spot the enemy. And the more emotionally invested you are, the harder it is to hear someone who disagrees. Because now it's not about the issue. It's about you. Disagreeing with your side becomes a threat to your identity, a threat to your belonging, and a threat to your sense of self. So you dig in, you double down, you strawman the other side until they're barely human, and you call it being informed. But what you're actually doing is hiding. Tribalism gives us something to belong to, but if you're not careful, it also gives you something that gives you permission to stop thinking. So why is all of this tribalism actually harmful, you may ask? Because once you turn politics into a team, truth does not matter anymore. Only loyalty does. And when loyalty becomes more important than truth, you're not thinking, you're not solving, you are just reacting. You stop asking, is this right? And start asking, did my side say this? And even worse, you start treating people as ideas. You reduce someone's entire identity down to a sticker on their bumper or a post they shared 2 years ago. Blue hat, moron. Red hat, fascist. Says they're independent, coward. It's not politics anymore. It's moral theater. And like any good performance, it only works if the villain is clear. So you take the worst of the other side, the most extreme person, the dumbest take, the most unhinged soundbite, and say, see, this is what they're like. It's efficient, it's satisfying, and it's intellectually dishonest as hell. Tribalism makes you stupid. Most people cannot see clearly if their identity is on the line. So tribalism lowers your critical thinking. You'll make excuses for the inexcusable. You'll ignore hypocrisy. You'll defend things that violate your own values just to avoid giving the other side a win. And then you'll feel justified because tribalism doesn't just change how you see others, it changes how you see yourself. It makes you feel righteous when you're just repeating your side's talking points. It makes you feel brave when you're just bullying people who you disagree with. It makes you feel informed when you haven't challenged your own beliefs in half a decade. And society pays the price. This doesn't just mess up personal relationships, it destroys discourse. It makes debate impossible. It turns compromise into betrayal. It creates echo chambers so tight they become pressure cookers, and eventually the center collapses. We don't talk to solve problems anymore. We talk to score points. We don't vote with hope, we vote with spite. And the system is funded by all the same people, and it loves this because the divided people are an easy people to manage. Keep them fighting each other and no one ever looks up. And let's be real, the system thrives on keeping you angry. It thrives on keeping you in your tribe. It thrives on keeping you convinced that the other side is an enemy of yours. The other side is not your enemy. You are on the same team. You're all living in the same world. You're all dealing with the same problems. And most of you deep down want the same things: safety, stability, a future worth hoping for, a system that isn't rigged, leaders who actually care. You just disagree on how to get there. And that's not evil. That is human. So we need to learn to separate people from politics. Stop defining people by their party. A Trump voter is not automatically a bigot. A liberal isn't automatically soft or delusional. A person who disagrees with you might be right about something, and you're not right about everything. No one is right about everything. There are things that you are wrong about. Treat individuals like individuals. Start there. Just because you see something as evil does not mean that the other person sees it as evil. You can say, hey, that behavior is bad, and not want to do that behavior, but that doesn't mean that they're walking up to that problem, seeing it the exact same way that you do, and then choosing to commit evil. They just see it differently. You can argue that they're wrong. You can correct them, but to say that they're just being evil for the sake of evil is downright silly. Most people do not do that. So, what you also need to do at the same time is challenge your own side. If you never question your own party, if you never admit when your party messes up, if you never criticize the people you voted for, then you are not a thinker, you are a fan. Loyalty is good, blind loyalty is dangerous. Integrity means being willing to call out your own side, not just the other one. So be brave enough to ask, am I being consistent? Would I defend this if the other party did it? Because if your morals only apply to your team, then they're not morals, they're just team colors. And stop playing the binary game. Red versus blue is a false choice. Most people agree on more than they think, but the system thrives on exaggerating the differences and hiding the overlap. So ask better questions. Don't ask which party is right. Ask what actually solves this problem. Support policies, not politicians. Support people, not tribes. Support principles, not personalities. You don't have to be left or right. You can just be honest and rehumanize the conversation. Talk to real people, not usernames, not headlines. Have conversations offline. Listen to someone who sees the world differently from you, not to debate them, but to just understand. You don't need to change their mind. Just understand where they're coming from. And if you can't do that yet, then just practice not dehumanizing them in your mind. You'd be shocked how far that can take you. The solution to polarization is not everyone becoming the same. It's everyone remembering that they're all still people and that we all, for the most part, want the same thing, to be happy. And that means that we need to learn how to disagree without hatred, argue without cruelty, and protect our souls from being hijacked by our party or our brand or whatever, and be individuals who are healthy members of society. So here we are, trapped in a system that wants us divided, taught to pick a side and shut our mouths, taught to hate our neighbors for having different bumper stickers. But if you're waiting for the system to fix itself or things to balance out, you're going to be waiting for a long time. This doesn't change from the top down. It changes from the inside out. From people like you deciding they're done being pawns in someone else's game, from people who realize that winning doesn't matter if the whole board is broken. You don't have to burn bridges. You just have to cross them. You don't have to agree with everyone. Don't have to like every opinion. You just have to remember the humanity on the other side. The moment we stop seeing people as people is the moment we reduce them to parties, positions, or enemies. We lose, not just morally, culturally, spiritually, intellectually. We lose the chance to build anything actually worth keeping. So here's a final challenge. Be better. Be a better person. Even when it's inconvenient, even when it's unpopular, even when you're surrounded by people who'd rather burn the world than share it. Be better. Question your own side. Question yourself. Show mercy when you don't want to. Think deeper. Speak kinder. And above all, refuse to hate on command, because the world doesn't need more followers. It needs more humans. And this call to action. Be a better person. Share this with someone who's stuck in this cycle. Start a conversation, not a war. Be the person who steps outside the script. And if enough of us do that, then maybe we won't have to pick between two broken parties. Maybe we'll just start acting like people again. Like everyone keeps saying, we can't fix it, we can't fix it. But that mentality is why we can't fix it. I don't know about you. I don't know if we can change the world, but I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying until the day I die. And if I fail, I fail. And I can only hope that there's enough of people like me who say, I'm going to try and be better. We're literally all in this together. Literally all in this together. People need to remember that. You don't need to like everyone. You don't need to love everyone, but you need to work together, because there's no other option. That's just it. You either get killing in the streets
or you get working together, you get cooperation, that's it. And, if you say, I won't compromise because the other side won't compromise, then it's just a Ouroboros eating its own ass. Compromise, be willing. If they don't show up, fine, that's on them. Be the better person. If you truly value a better world, stop taking the easy way out. Give people a chance. It's so easy to condemn. It's so easy to be like, well, that's not. Guess what? Everyone's doing it. Everyone is doing it. That's the problem. Individually, it makes sense, right? But as a society, we can't handle it. Look around you. If you cannot overcome this, this will get worse. We are teetering on the edge of where this is going to get so much worse if we don't stop. I don't want it to go that far, and we can stop it. Don't lose hope. Keep your hope alive. Keep going. But come on, guys, you just have to stop for a second and say, I feel so strongly about this, but I am willing to put that aside to say to you, hey, let's not frickin' kill each other. And yeah, we're not at a full-blown war yet, but it's coming. It's coming if we're not careful. And it's a real risk. We forget how dangerous this planet can be sometimes. Nothing is promised. Nothing is guaranteed. This society that we have is fragile and we can lose it in a moment. It's up to us to maintain it. It is not a given. I don't want to lose it. I think that I deserve it. I think that you deserve it. I think that your children deserve it. I think my children deserve a society where they can grow up safe, happy, and healthy. We must do better. There's just no happy ending if we don't.